What do they say when you get on a boat?
Dope Nostalgia presents
On the boat! Let's go!
Get ready
Red hot!
for Sail Away Sunday.
Hey, here we go!
One, two, girl, I see ya. Just sipping tequila. On her third shot of tequila. Está loca de la cabeza. 4, 5, 6, I see ya. Round 7 tequila. From every nation. We're sailing away. Hola, mama. Hola, mama. Hola, mama. Hola, Live it up. Hola, mama. Hola, mama. Hola, mama. Hola, Live it up, girl. Live it
It's time to join me with some special guests as we relive the Sail Away to Half Moon Cay NKOTB Cruise 2022. No, I'm feeling okay and everything. I was just like, yeah, I broke my shoulder
How
on
did
the
that
ice.
happen on the ice?
Well-
Oh yeah, you're
well, I
in
live-
Canada, aren't you?
Yeah, I live in Canada and I've slipped and fell outside.
Oh no,
Yeah, where are you from?
Ireland.
Ireland. Oh,
So very far away.
So to get things started, I would say welcome Savvy to the show. And you had quite a trip to get to the cruise. How did that journey start for you?
Well, I feel like I never really thought I would get on the cruise. It was always just kind of this thing I would watch and see, watch all the videos on YouTube and obviously rock the boat and everything.
Mhm.
But then one day I just finished college and I was working on my dissertation and I was so stressed. And I saw on Instagram that the tickets were going on sale for the cruise, and I was like joking about it with my brother. I was like, we should do this. That would be fun. And by the end of the day, we had bought tickets for it.
Wow. No kidding. So
Yeah.
both you and your brother came all the way from Ireland.
Yeah.
Now, how did your New Kids fandom start? How long have you been a fan?
A good few years now. A lot of people my age, because I'm 23, I was 22 when I was on the cruise, but a lot of people my age kind of got into it because of their parents, but neither of my parents were into it. So I'm kind of still like a first generation blockhead, just a very young one.
Yeah.
But it was through I love 90s music and all that stuff. Like even when I was a little kid, I would always have MTV on and like learning all the dance moves and everything. So obviously
sweet.
the first time I came across Jordan Knight, I was like, I need to know every single dance move that this man has ever done, and I need to learn all of them. So it was the Tonight music video came on. I was just like watching, music videos from the time that one came on and his dance moves and that. I was like, okay, yeah, I need to find out more about this guy. And then that started into knowing stuff about every member and watching every single video they've ever made. And now I'm a huge fan, obviously.
You are such a talented dancer. For
Thank you
anybody
so
who
much.
hasn't seen you dance, I think we got to make sure that we're going to link to your social media, because you have a really awesome video that you posted where you do the dance that Jordan did at the American Music Awards when they did Games Live.
Yeah.
And it's so spot on. And you do it like a duet side by side, and
Yeah.
everyone's got to check it out. So how long did it take you to learn that dance?
Well, it's funny. That's like my favorite performance that they've done. It's so cool seeing them on that stage doing that big performance. I love their like going for it so much. Like Donnie's rap and everything. It's so fun. And Jordan's like solo dance. And I was like watching it in my living room one day, as I tend to do, and my whole family's there, like, why are we watching this for the 80th time? And I was like, I should learn that dance. And my mom was like, oh, do you think you could? And I took that as a challenge and then immediately started learning the dance. And that was a couple years ago now. So I kind of I just do it for fun in my living room kind of thing. Like I'll put it on and dance along. So I don't know. I like probably picked it up in the one evening, but then the funny thing is I do the dance like watching it in the TV, so it's like mirrored. And then when I had to do it to put it in the side by side, I had to like learn it the opposite way around, which was harder than just learning it myself,
Yeah.
So that was probably the tricky bit, is to like mirror the dance. But yeah, it was really fun. I'm such a perfectionist as well though, so I had to do it so many times to like, put it up.
Get
But
it
I'm
right.
glad I put that up. And then Donnie
Yeah.
showed it to Jordan, which is crazy to me.
That's
That
incredible.
Jordan has apparently seen that. Like, I still don't really believe it, even though Donnie told me. I'm like, that's not true. Jordan hasn't seen me dance.
That's incredible. We'll get
Yeah.
to definitely talking about your interactions with the guys on the cruise too, because you had some amazing moments live. But
Yeah, I still can't believe any of that happened. I saw a video earlier today that I like hadn't seen before of me like on stage with them, and it, like every time I see a new video, I get blown away again. I'm like, no way that happened.
that's not me. No way.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine. So like you get to the cruise. So it's you and your brother.
Hmm.
Did you already know some of the blockheads on board?
No, like we didn't really, I wasn't huge into like, interacting with the fandom or anything. Like obviously I, like saw some Instagram posts and stuff, but I didn't have my Instagram for the new kids until the cruise when everyone started wanting to follow me. And I was like, oh, I should probably make one.
Mhm.
So I kind of like, I'd known some people from Facebook and obviously some, I'd watch YouTube videos and listen to some podcasts and stuff like that just to kind of like get to know what it was going to be like. But no, like I didn't know anyone, but everyone I met was so nice. Like we met people like in the airport, like on our way there, because we had to fly to the UK first and then fly over to America. And we
Yeah.
met people in the UK, and I saw they had like t-shirts with like blockhead written on it and stuff. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go make friends with these people. So but it was like it was kind of crazy. It was our first time in America, never mind being on the cruise. So there was a lot of new stuff going on, and I didn't know anyone there. But I mean, everyone was so kind and kind of like guided us along as the little baby blockhead. So it was such a wonderful experience.
That was really smart of you to find people in the airport like that and just make those
Yeah.
connections, because that was one of
Yeah.
the cool things too. Like I'm coming from Canada and my connection was in Toronto. And when we got there, we saw like at least 10 other blockheads that were going.
Yeah.
So you got to meet a lot of people that way. Now, this being your first trip to the US too, how long did you actually get to stay in the US for this? Or were you just there for the
We were
cruise and
there,
out?
we were there like a day and a half beforehand. So not too long, but enough time to kind of, get to know Florida a little bit. We went to a Popeyes, but the closest Popeyes to where we were staying was like an hour away because we don't have Popeyes here. But I love chicken sandwiches, so I was like, we have to go. I made my poor brother walk for like an hour to get there, and then we got stranded in the Popeyes because it started raining. And our phones wouldn't work to like get us an Uber, so we were stranded there. I had to ask a police officer to help us get back to our hotel. It was the funniest situation.
It's
But
funny too.
apart from that, it was a pretty good experience.
It's funny. Somebody upstairs is hammering right when I was recording. I hope you're not hearing it, are you?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, then we're good. Sorry. No, but the funny thing too is getting to Miami, like it wasn't that warm the first day we got there. Like the day before the cruise, it had been raining and kind of chilly. And I
Yeah,
didn't
I mean,
expect
it was
that.
warmer. It was warmer than in Ireland because obviously it's pretty cold, and probably Canada too. So I was like, this
Yeah.
is getting back into the nice weather because it was that week where it was just starting to get cold in Ireland. So I was like, the Bahamas sounds really nice right now.
The day that we boarded the ship, oh yeah, it was like what 28 degrees, and it was like the sun
Yeah.
was out, no clouds, and I'm like, this is what I expected
Hmm.
for sure. So this is obviously like you're so excited to get on the boat and all of that with your brother. What kind of other activities did you guys get to do on the cruise besides the new kids ones? Were there any other things you guys tried out, being your first time doing this kind of thing?
I feel like we were so like almost overwhelmed the whole time with like there was so many things you could do. My brother, it's still slightly New Kids related, but my brother was on the Beach Olympics team, so that was something really fun that like he got to like proper take part in. He was on Danny's team. I was really
No
excited for
way.
him. Yeah. He's very shy though, so he didn't really like take part much. He was just standing there like being like, good job, guys. But that was really awesome because it was our first time like seeing the new kids, meeting them, and then like all the experiences we got was like so unexpected. I was happy just to like see them like
Let alone all that interaction.
yeah.
Yeah. So very first night, Love Eternal night.
Mhm.
Everyone's looking great in their red and their pink, and it's just such a beautiful time. And that's the first time we saw you dance,
Yeah.
right?
Johnny pulled me up on stage. I was not expecting that at all. We were close, like me and my brother are the type, we'd love to be like kind of in the action, no matter if we're like being close to the new kids or just close to all the other fans. Like we just want to be there and experience everything, you know? So
Yeah.
we were like, yeah, like we don't have anything else to do. Let's just sit out the front and like experience everything. And then Push It by Salt and Pepper comes on, and I freak
Mhm.
out because I love that song. And then Donnie spots me and like points at me and was like, "Do you know the words?" And I was like, "Yeah, I know the words." And my brother's like pointing at me like, "She knows the words." And then he's like, "Okay, but wait, do you really know the words?" And I was like, "Yes, Donnie, please." And then he's like, "Fine, get up here." And he pulls me up. And then he's like, "Are you sure you're not too young to know the words?" And it was so funny that he was like, "I don't believe you about this." But I think I knew the words. I think I did a pretty good job.
I think you knew the words. You could tell you knew the song, and just like,
Yeah.
and your moves and like everything was just so awesome. The guys were so impressed watching you. You could
Yeah,
tell.
it's funny because obviously I didn't like see their faces while I was doing it because I'm facing out into the audience. But then watching the videos back and they're like gasping, like pointing at me, and I'm like, that's crazy because that's like Donnie and Jordan pointing at me dancing.
How exciting to
Like
be up
it's
on stage dancing like that. Were you nervous, or was it just kind of, you feel like, is this like a natural thing
I
for you?
think like I'm quite like an anxious person, but about like things that I shouldn't be anxious about. But then if I'm doing something where I feel like most people would be anxious, I'm like, no, this is fine. Like performing on stage with Jordan Knight in front of 3,000 people, that sounds great. Let's do it.
Dude, that's like me. I'm totally
Yeah.
like that. Like, I sang in a rock band for 15 years, and that doesn't scare me. I love
Yeah.
that, being up there. It's like you become this persona and you do it and you enjoy it. And
Yeah.
then, but yeah, other things that I get anxious about, so much stuff that I think is dumb.
Yeah. And
I
people are
totally
like,
get
why
where
do
you're
we need to
coming
be
from.
anxious about that? But yeah, it's kind of it flips like that. Like being on stage and everyone was like, how do you do that? I'm like, I don't know. I was up there. Like, I'm not gonna let them down. If Donnie hands you a microphone, you have to impress him.
There's something about that energy too. Like, once you're actually up there and you're doing it and you're in the
Yeah.
mode, it just comes out, right?
Oh, and that song, it's funny because like that's the song that I like whenever it comes on, I dance to in my bedroom mirror. And I it's the funniest thing. I pretend that Jordan Knight is beside me while I do it. I choreograph my little dance and I'm like,
Oh,
and Jordan's my favorite dancer. So even
yeah.
before I would be on the cruise, if I'm like picturing a dance, I'm like thinking about him and his dance moves. So I kind of already associated that song with him just, being in that like 80s, 90s dance kind of world. So then like that actually happening, I'm like weirdly manifested that. So I don't know, that's just something that's so weird to me. I'm like, I used to just dance to this in my bedroom mirror. Now I'm on stage doing it.
What an experience. No wonder you're kind of like
Yeah.
watching all these videos now and going, I can't believe that's me, you know?
Yeah. Cause I'm like, I used to see myself do it in my mirror, not on stage.
But yeah, so you had an amazing first night doing that, and we'll share
Yeah.
some of the videos and clips and stuff of your performance, because it was unreal. Then you got to be up on stage for the rest of that night.
I think, yeah, most of it. And I was watching the videos back. I didn't realize how much energy I had. I was going for it. Like I have more energy than Donnie, and that's impressive because he's full of energy. But I'm just
He is.
going for it. I'm dancing the entire time. And Jordan keeps like watching me, and he was like starting to copy my dance moves, which is such a funny thing. Because like I'm like, no, you're like my favorite dancer. And he's like copying me do it. It's
Did you
mad. But
tell him
then
that? Did you
no,
tell?
every time I spoke to one of them, I would say the stupidest thing. I feel like a lot of people are like, you go to tell them something, and then you're just like, let me tell you really silly things instead of the important ones.
Yeah,
Um,
as soon as you're in that moment, you're like, I have no idea what I wanted to say to you.
yeah, and I had so many moments where I could have said something to Dottie or Jordan because they were so lovely and they kept coming up to me and like checking on me and like all that throughout the whole cruise. And every time I'd say something really stupid instead.
Oh, I think they were so happy you were there, you and your brother. You could tell from watching
Yeah.
some of the interactions. Day 2, we go to the beach. Of
Mhm.
course, your brother's on Team Danny. He's
Yeah.
doing the thing. What did you do during that whole time? Were you're there cheering him on?
Yeah, I feel like we very much stuck together throughout the whole thing just because it was only, the two of us and
Mhm.
it was our first like big international trip. So we were like sticking right together the whole time, which was really nice. I loved having my brother there with me.
Aw.
But yeah, so I watched him the whole time. I brought a green bikini, but then I didn't like it, so I wore blue instead. So I was accidentally on Team Joe instead of supporting my brother, but that's okay. And I stood so that like I could see Danny's team, but I could also see Jordan because Jordan's my favorite. So I'm like, I'm gonna get a nice view of both of these teams. But I had a great spot, and it's funny on the beach. So many people kind of like came up to me and were like, you know, saying, "Oh, like well done on stage. I was so cool," and just talking to me. But then it's so hard to remember everybody that you meet on the cruise because they were all so new to me. But then afterwards, I've realized, like in pictures, I'm like, oh, I'm standing behind people that I'm like good friends with now, just from like social media. We were like right there beside each other. I didn't even realize.
Isn't that amazing? And then you realize,
Yeah.
oh yeah, there's a huge amount of this fandom that are just up there with their Instagram pages and whatnot.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, that's how like a lot of us got to know each other before the cruise, is because during the pandemic, we did events together online, and,
Yeah.
you know, we've been connected that way for so long that meeting everybody for the first time was just surreal, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. That's really cool. Beach day, of course. Now, these aren't, you live in Ireland, you have beaches in Ireland, but this is a lot different, right?
Yeah. I mean, even because I live in Dublin, which is like, you know, where the city is and everything. The beaches are just like rocks, and they're cold and they're
cold.
cloudy, and it's like you can't, there's like 1 week a year that you can actually go to the beach, and even then you have to drive like a good few hours from where I live to like get like a nice beach, you know?
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
this was incredible to be on the Bahamas and just like see that beach, and the sand is so lovely and the weather. And I was like, I can't believe I'm on a private island.
Yeah.
Like it's
It's
so fun.
a lot
Like
of
never
people,
mind the new kids being there. It's a private island.
I know a lot of people don't know that Carnival Cruise Lines owns a lot of their little islands in the
Yeah.
Bahamas all over the place. So that you guys, like who's ever on that ship, I should say,
Yeah.
were the only people there. Yeah, that was really cool. And then, so we get back on the ship that night. What was the rest of your night like? This is Bring Back the Time evening. Like, what did you guys dress up as?
We didn't go crazy for the costumes because they were traveling quite far. We didn't want to bring too much luggage. And I guess we just didn't really know what to expect. So we didn't want to go too crazy and, you know, like spend all our time in the costumes. So I think we just kind of went like generic 80s for that one kind of thing. Like I had like the, you know, like a scrunchie and a high pony and a crop top. So it was, you know, just kind of like basic stuff. And we weren't too close to the stage that night. We kind of stepped back a bit because obviously the first night was like so crazy. We were like, let's let other people up there. We'll watch from behind because we were getting tired as well at that stage, you know? Like I didn't even get time to get over the jet lag before we were doing all that, like staying up to 6 a.m. kind of stuff. So it was nice to like chill a bit. But no, that was fun. We were up kind of, you know, like near, like not on the next deck, but like the kind of level in between. So we could see everything. We could see all the people. It was nice to just kind of like take a step back and watch everything from there.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, no, that was, I think, my favorite night of all 4 was Bring Back the Time night.
It was very fun.
It was fun watching.
And
obviously, like John was hilarious.
yeah.
John is one of my favorite people, and it's just because of his genuineness, you know.
He's so himself. Like he's not gonna put anything on for anyone. He's gonna say what he wants to say and do what he wants to do, and I appreciate that.
And watching him take it in and enjoy himself gives me joy, you know, just like the fireworks. So where you were standing, you probably saw the fireworks pretty good.
Yeah, that was so funny though when the song was playing. The fireworks obviously didn't go off at the exact right time, and you could see Donnie was like panicking a little bit. He's going, "No, these gonna work," and everyone was like, "Whoa, fireworks!" And they just didn't happen. And then like 5 seconds later, it's like, "Oh, there they are." That was fun. I got like one video of that, but I realized I didn't take that many videos because I was like so busy watching the fireworks and the guys and just taking it all in.
That's good.
It is like you kind of, it's obviously it's nice to have the videos, but it's so nice to just be in the moment and like experience that kind of thing with everyone. That's such a special moment, those fireworks, and seeing everyone react to them.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Dope Nostalgia listeners, I love you, and I thank you so much for being a part of this show and its success over the last 2 years. We have what's called Patreon for those who want to support the show financially. For as little as $1 a month, you can become a subscriber and get bonus content, early podcast release, all kinds of cool behind-the-scenes stuff, and more. There's different tiers of membership starting at only $1 a month. And we even have some special merch for you guys who are in it for the long run. So please, join our Patreon. It's at www.patreon.com/dope nostalgia.
Hi, we're the New Kids on the Block. Check this out. Join us live in your house on Thursday, March 15th. It's gonna be the house party of the year.
And if you can't see us live or you want to see us more than once, there'll be replays all weekend long.
I love you.
Tell me something. Are you ready to rock with the New Kids on the Block?
New Kids on the Block, live in concert, Thursday, March 15th.
Hi, this is Joe. And I'm John from New Kids on the Block. Check it out. Join us live in your house Thursday, March 15th. It's going to be the biggest house party of the year. If you can't see us live or you want to see us more than once, there will be replays all weekend long. Right here on your cable system.
In this type of cruise, there's definitely several moments where you need to be in the moment.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of like emotional things happening. You're just bonding with the guys, you're bonding with your friends around you. There's a lot of moments like that.
Yeah.
And this was my first cruise, and I just was like, I can see why this is so magical. I can see why people go year after year after year. They even did a TV show about it. I get it now.
Yeah, like it's the type of thing you go and you're like, this is gonna be a once-off, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. And then I was like on the boat and I'm like, no, I should go again. Like I kind of have to come back.
I think it's addictive.
Yeah, like you can't do that just once.
Day 3. Now, day 3 is Halloween. So it's Halloween
Yes.
Harbor Night. What did you do for
Day
costumes?
3. I was Donnie because last Halloween before the cruise, I was Donnie, just casually dressing up as Donnie Wahlberg. It was like the drugs are bad kind of t-shirt with the sleeves cut off thing, and that kind of vibe. So I had that already. So I was like, let's just bring that. And my brother went as Joey, which was funny because he wasn't going to go as Joey, and he improv'd a Joey costume in our cabin an hour beforehand. And I'm like, how are you getting away with making your costume on the boat? But it was funny because he stuck, we had stickers for our door that had letters on them, and he stuck them onto made a Joe jumper. Back from the, they wore them the previous night, and my brother just made one of those. I thought that was so funny. But it kind of went with mine then because I was Donnie and he was Joe. But we were so tired that day. It was so funny because we were oh yeah, we're gonna wake up super early. We're gonna be first on the beach, and then we were at the after party the night before, so we did not get to sleep until 6 a.m, which is something midday back in Ireland. So completely thrown off our sleep schedule. We did not make it to the beach. And then I ended up leaving a bit early on Halloween night from the Lido deck just because I was so exhausted. I was like, I'm going to pass out if I stand here. So I'm going to go get a bit of rest because I knew I wanted to be stay up all night for the last night. So Halloween was I stayed for a good few hours, but I think it was once Jordan left, I was like, okay, it's bedtime now.
That's exactly it. Jordan left a little bit early that night, right?
Yeah.
Same story, really. And I think that was the same story for a lot of people for day 3. They were starting to get exhausted and didn't go to the beach. Yeah, we were up at that same party, and I think I left it at 6:30. Hadn't had an excursion the next day, slept right through it.
Yeah.
I was like, no,
that was the thing. I was
like,
I was kind of glad I didn't plan any excursions because they seemed fun, but I was like, I would have completely missed them because the Beach Olympics on the first day and then just didn't go to the beach. But it was nice just seeing the boat because we hadn't really had time to do that. So that day we spent a lot of time just kind of walking around. We went on the water slide. We just we're hanging out with people, some people that I had met at the pop-up shop beforehand, and I bumped into them again. So it was nice just like chatting to people and like relaxing on the cruise, as
That
you
is a
probably
good
do on a
thing.
normal cruise as opposed to a New Kids cruise where you're never meant to relax.
That's true. What about eating there? Did you try out any of the other restaurants besides the buffet and the dinner? Did you try some other stuff?
I never went to the like the actual dining room. I mainly survived off pizza and burgers.
Mhm.
But I did not eat enough. I did not drink enough water. I didn't drink enough alcohol, if I'm honest. I should have. Everyone was having a great time. I was so like busy and focused, and I like
Mhm.
did not eat or drink or sleep. It was just all go go go.
It was hard to take in
So
all the
that's
amenities.
yeah. So next time I'll probably try to drink at least some more water.
You can't go wrong with that.
No,
That's for
I
sure.
was surviving off energy drinks for the cruise because I that's all I got.
I'm just making sure. I'm just taking 1 second here to look at my messages because I don't know when they. Are you doing that Remember Betty event thing today?
Or was that today? I didn't sign up for it, but if they have tickets, I might see. I think it's on quite late though here.
Okay, everything seems like it's all right. Got just a little bit more to go over. So, last night, GPS night.
Yeah.
First of all, how did your meet and greet go during the day? Your photo op.
That
How was it talking to all the guys?
That was amazing because I know some people didn't have like incredible experience there, and that's fine because obviously the guys are so busy and everyone's exhausted by then. But all of
Mhm.
them were so nice to me, and Donnie and Jordan remembered me, which was awesome. And then at the meet and greet, Donnie was like, "Oh, hey, you want to come up on stage tonight again?" And I was like, "I think that's up to you, Donnie. I don't know if I get to make the call. If you want me there, then sure." But that was awesome. And Jordan remembered me, and he was like, "Oh, you're the dancer." And I was like, "No, Jordan, you're the dancer. Like, that's who you are." And he was awesome. And then I got my picture with Joey, and me and Joey, because when I got on stage to do Push It, Joey would not come and dance with me because I'm apparently too young. And I brought that up at the meet and greet because I have beef with Joey about that now. But it's okay. We're good now. I like to joke about it though, because I don't know, it's so funny to me because Jordan was so happy to dance with me. And then I was like, "Joey," and he was like, "No, no, 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 no." So it was funny, you know, I show up to the meet and greet and Jordan's like, "It's you." And Joey's like, "It's you."
He's jealous of your moves. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
because you're gonna
that's it.
outdance him. You're gonna outdance him, and he knows it.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'll get that dance someday, maybe on the next cruise.
So then you're up and dancing again. GPS
Yeah.
night. What was different this time than the first time you danced?
Ooh, I think pockets. On the first night, my dress was quite small. I would have worn something better if I knew I was going to be on stage. And I had to hold my phone the whole time while I was dancing, and like my lanyard was flying around the place. So I was like, if I'm up on stage again, I'm wearing shorts, so I have pockets. So that's a tip if you're going to be on stage. And I also didn't know this song as well as I knew Push It. I panicked a little bit for this one because I knew it, but I forgot it.
Which
in the
song was
moment. It's Tambourine by Eve. I feel like not a lot of people know it. I don't know why Donnie heard this song and went, "Yeah, she's gonna know this one," because I almost
I'd
did.
be like, "Oh crap!" Did he even ask you first if you knew it?
No, he kind of just was like pointing at me like, "You know this one, get up here." And I was like, "Oh, I can't say no to going on stage because what if this is my only shot?" And then also he pulled my brother up, which was so nice because my brother was not gonna like sing and dance, but obviously, you know, Donnie wanted to keep us together up there. So that was really awesome that my brother got to come up too. And
cool.
and also my brother had, because my birthday was like a week after the cruise, my brother brought up a little like card and got everyone who was on stage to sign it. So I have a little birthday card from everyone who was on stage that night, which is really sweet.
Oh, the guys and the fans.
None of the guys actually. My brother was obviously apparently too shy to talk to them, but like all the fans are up there, which is nice because it was, you know, like being up there. So I got like Cedric and Lon, a good few other people, and also I think the people that we were like had been sitting beside during the shows, and like some of the people we had met, like my brother just brought the card around and got everyone to sign it. So that was really sweet.
What an amazing time for you. I mean, wow, overwhelming, isn't it?
Yeah.
Overall, what do you think was the absolute biggest highlight for you? Was it the dancing?
I guess so. Like that, like initial kind of being on stage, especially because on the first night there wasn't a lot of people up there. He really only brought up like 3 people, so it was, you know, there was a lot more room for me to dance, I suppose. And just like, and being beside Jordan and dancing and him seeing my moves, that was awesome. And also on GPS night, he came over like to speak to me on the stage, and I didn't see this until like I watched the videos back. He literally walks over to talk to me, and he was like asking me and my brother, like how we were doing and where we were from and everything. So I got to have a nice conversation with him, and then he immediately disappeared after. He was like, "It's bedtime now. I talked to them and I'm gone." So that was kind of funny. But I'm glad I got up there in time to speak to him.
I love that. I love that you guys got to have that interaction with him.
Yeah. And another person on stage videoed the whole thing. So I have like our conversation on video, which is so awesome because you don't get stuff like that a lot. You get those moments and you don't want to be like shoving a camera in their face. So it's nice when someone else is like sneakily getting it on video.
Isn't that really cool? And that's the thing too with this blockhead community, is that everybody seems to have captured other people's moments and are really happy to get those moments to them in case,
Like
So
it's so
really
fun
love
after the cruise or even after a concert, you see everybody kind of be like, I have this of this person, someone find them for me because they get this nice moment with Donnie or Joey. It's awesome to see that. And I have so many videos. I have like every angle of me being on stage. I should make like a compilation of it.
You should.
Yeah.
You should. Why not? What was I going to say? There's a Facebook group full of people who went on the cruise and mixtape tour, and that it's a big fun new kids group, and people are in there all the time asking, does anybody have a copy of this moment, or does anybody know how to get a hold of this person? I have a video for them. So it's been very helpful to find those highlights for everyone's cruise moments. So if people out there
Definitely.
who are listening didn't know, you should find that Facebook group.
Definitely. I'm in that group, and I definitely had a few people find me in there, and also I got to get some pictures and videos out to other people as well. So it's really nice. It's lovely to have that community, because also I imagine, obviously I wasn't there, but back in the day it was harder to if you had a moment, if it wasn't on like a pay-per-view, you weren't getting to see that.
No kidding. Back in the day, for sure. Back in the day, we couldn't even bring cameras to the venue.
Yeah.
But sometimes people got them in. But yeah, if people out there are listening and they are looking for a moment or have a moment of somebody doing something awesome on the cruise, let me know, shoot me a message, and I'll send you a link to that Facebook group. But to wrap things up, I really want to know, so you get off the boat, is it time to go home?
We spent a day in London because that's where our flight brought us to, and my friend is over there doing a graduate degree. So I was like, let's spend a day here. But then we were exhausted, obviously. So we kind of spent the day in London just wandering around. But it was nice to catch up with my friend before going home and extend the trip a little bit. But no more time in America, sadly.
Yeah. But still, you think you're going to do this again?
Definitely. Like it was the type of thing as soon as we got off the boat, we were like, we're doing this again, right? Like that's what we're doing. And my aunt, who is a huge fan, was like, I'm coming next time, right? Like, how dare you do this without me? So we're extending it now.
Well, now that she's probably seen all the videos and the pictures of all the fun you had.
Yeah, I was texting her as soon as I would like get into my bed. I'd be like, oh my gosh, Emma, look what happened. And she'd be like, Daddy. And it was great.
It's amazing when you share these moments with friends back home, whether they're blockheads or not, because a lot of people can't believe that you're actually that close to them. And that some guys have even said to me, the guys are actually on the ship with you. I'm like, yeah. Like, and they're not just hiding in their rooms. Yes, they're actually out partying with us. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I think you get
it's funny
your money's worth.
Yeah, a lot of people my age and in Ireland don't really know about them. Obviously, it's not like a huge thing. So it's kind of funny trying to explain it to my friends. And then once they get it, they're like, oh, that's really cool. I'm like, yeah, it's really cool. But it is like a process to like get them to understanding why it's so cool.
I think with the culture, like the retroness of the New Kids on the Block now, here we are 30 years later from when they were out and big and everything, that I think that's kind of made things really exciting to learn about them from the younger generation. Like I'm finding that people are like more interested in learning about them now than they were, say, like 10, 20 years ago. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it has kind of come around because there is definitely a thing with like, obviously you talk a lot about nostalgia on here, where there is a thing where like if it's kind of too recent, where it's kind of gone like not cool again, and then you have to wait for it to come back around and people realize how awesome it was in the moment, as opposed to kind of like, oh, that's like a bit old now, as opposed to it being like cool.
but there's the retroness to it that's very cool. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
and I like
people
that
wear the
guys,
t-shirts and stuff.
yeah, and the guys embrace that, and I think that definitely helps. You know, they
Mhm.
understand that a lot of people, they love the new stuff, but they love the old stuff, and they mix that together really well.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, if anything, it's a really fun night out for people of any age. Like, you know,
Yeah.
whether you were an original fan back in the day, or, you know, you're brand new, or you're baby blockhead, it's just a fun night out. And it's like just getting to know them. I'm a hardcore fan. You're a hardcore fan. We get that. But some people, they just want to hear step by step and sing along
Yeah.
with their friends, right? So no matter what level of fandom you are, the new kids will never go away. And that makes me so happy. I'm glad they're here
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah, and they know how to put on a good show for anyone. Like, that's something
Mhm.
that I feel like the guys really pride themselves on, is that they know how to put on a show, and they really do. Like, you know, I didn't get to see a full concert, obviously, just the one on the cruise. I've never seen them in concert, which is kind of weird because I've like met them all now, but I've never seen them in an actual show. But like, they know how to entertain.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, I'm glad that we have them as part of our musical legacy, and that they'll always be around. So I love that.
Yeah.
But to wrap things up, what's in your future? Obviously, cruising again. What are you doing? Like, you're in college, you said?
I just graduated back in November.
Congratulations. So
Thank
what are
you so much.
What were you taking, and what are your goals for the future?
Well, I majored in film and I had a minor in drama, so very creative. I'm kind of figuring all that out now, obviously. I do video editing. That's something that I've, you know, kind of been paid for, looking into that. I also, my like degree was kind of focusing on writing, so I like to write. So, you know, figuring out where I want to go from here. But I feel like I'm kind of, you know, at a place where I could do anything. So we're gonna figure out what we want to do, you know?
That's inspiring. I love
Thank
that,
you.
Savvy. Thank you. And thank you for your time today. I'm glad that you took the time to be on Dope Nostalgia. I'm glad that you're a listener. And
Thank
we should have
you.
on
Thank
the
you
show
so
again.
much for having me on. This is so much fun. I love talking about the cruise with people who, you know, get it, and listening to everyone else's experience. It's awesome.
Live it up, girl, live it up, girl. I don't drink, but I'll watch you. Live it up, girl, live it up.
Join me next week for more tales of our adventures out at sea with the new kids on the block.